Hello and welcome to my live stream. Okay, waiting. Hello and welcome to my live stream. This is going to be covering a special occasion card, and you're going to be making a 3D envelope, and you're going to be using skills like using brads and lots of paper folding. You're going to need I think it's 10 by 10 card, but it depends on what size paper you start with. And I'm going to be using a 12 by 12, but you could use a 8 by 8 and go for a 6 by 6 card in it. And then I have some paper to decorate with. So we're going to start with our 12 by 12 card. This is quite thick because you want to be able to fold it and crease it without it tearing. We're going to start off by marking some points on it. Okay, line it up with a 0. I want to mark it at 6 inches, literally halfway. And then you want to take a scoreboard, so you can use any of the proprietary systems. I'm using a Score It because I find this easiest. Just going to line up the tip of each line, so you can score it on the diagonal. Okay, and line up your last 2 points. I'm using a different system to the broadcast today, so if you have any issues, please let me know. So now we've scored it on a diagonal. You can take each corner and fold it inwards. We're going to start off with just a gentle press, and then we'll use the bone folder on the back of the fold. So if I move the scoreboard out of the way, you should be able to see a bit better then. Then we have our envelope. Now, the aim isn't to get these to overlap, because as you'll see in a minute, they're going to fold back out. So I'm going to press down each fold. It should give you a nice sharp crease. Next you're going to take a ruler and going to be using quite a wide ruler here. So the idea is that you're going to literally try and line it up with that fold. And lightly draw a line across. And you're going to line it up to the same point on each side. Now just to check, you can measure it. Okay, so we're going to take our scoreboard back again. Line up our points. At this stage you can also round the corners. Okay. Each front, you're going to fold it back outwards. and that makes the beginning of our envelope. We'll move on to the card for now. Now I've chosen to use a gatefold card, but you could just use a standard card. And I'm going to use some paper to decorate it. This one is from the Paper Mania capsule collection. So we can literally mark up paper and trim it, and then I'm going to use a Xyron machine to give it a good finish. Now I'm going to move the flap of my card over so that I have a bit of paper to go around the back of my card. This just gives us a much more professional finish. And you want to do the same with the opposite flap. These are Extreme trimmers. I think that's the most accurate one I've found so far. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat section. Almost scratch the side. Next we've got our Xyron ready, and this is a good way of doing edge to edge adhesive. Gives a nice professional finish. Just want to check that the first one is all the way through before we put the next one on. And then we're going to rub around the edges just to capture any loose adhesive. I'm just giving it a rub. This just helps the adhesive adhere to the paper. Bring our card back on. Now you're going to work from the inside flap and outwards. So, you want to take your first sheet, just peel it off the paper. Then going to line it up to the edge. And smooth it down. Do the same on the other side. That's what I was going to say. And if you're using pattern paper, make sure your pattern is the right way up. Otherwise it looks a little bit odd when you close the card. If you do find it strays off slightly, don't panic. Just gently trim it off. And we're going to go back to creasing our fold. So you're just going to gently work your fold. And you just want to take it around that corner. If you try and go too fast, it will pull off the adhesive. There we go. And then use the bone folder on the back of the card again, just to reinforce that fold. So work it in. Turn it over. Finish the fold. Now I'm just going to use some washi tape to tidy up my edges. I'm not going for coordinating design. And again, just follow it into that crease. Don't forget, you can put any questions you have on the chat. Dry washes, you can always peel it back off if it doesn't go quite where you want it to. So we end up with our back looking like that. And then you can then use the same washi tape just to tidy up on the front. And you're just teasing it around that corner to start with. Try and adjust this slightly so you can see a bit better. If you do find that your edge of your card is a little bit sticky, you can always just use a little bit of talcum powder on a finger just to take the sticky edge off. Okay, next we're going to make a panel to go in the centre of our card. But to do that, I'm going to bring our envelope back in and put our card in the envelope. We can then bring in our corners. And just check that everything fits properly. Take a ruler and you just want to run it along an edge. So something that measures 4 by 4 will have a nice little border that just sits inside. So you want to trim your white piece of card to 4 by 4. Doesn't have to be expensive card, as we're going to cover it up. We then measure our paper so that we cut it square, looking about 3 3/4. So it's just going to sit inside. And we can go either the opposite way up, or we could go crossways, or finally upwards. We could then take another piece of card and actually 3D layer that over the top. It depends on which embellishment that you want to use. So for this one, because I'm going to be using some red ribbon, I might just use this red flower here as a backdrop. I'm just going to use some white card just to stiffen it up. Going to go for a smaller square. This will just give us a pop of colour. So now we can run our 2 decorative papers through the Xyron and leave those to be adhered a different way. again, just going to run our fingers around. The Zoran really is the best way to adhere vellum. Anything else you can see the drawing. So we'll start off with a small square first. And don't worry too much about the edges, as I'll be tidying these up with some washi. But anything that takes it off the square, just trim it up. If you do have any questions or want me to slow down at any point, just say. Okay. Next we can do over square. Now this one has a border inside, so we can try and line it up there. And then we're going to start to edge round our and trim. And you're going to go around all four sides doing the same thing. Sometimes one piece just won't go right. The version of this on my Instagram actually uses this same edging technique on the actual envelope as well. Okay, so now we have our card with Papa Red and a background card. And for this card I'm going to use a lovely little owl. And also some little flowers. I think I'm going to put two on here and then put one down on the background there. So I'm going to start off with a bit of tape runner adhesive. This is just for speed. I'd recommend using wet glue on this. No, I won't recommend running it through the Xyron, it's a bit too thick. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of silicone glue. I'm going to stick this card on first. If you're new to card making, I recommend using some foam pads for that. But silicone glue just lets you have a little bit longer to play with layout. Okay, just going to pop that one just there. And on this one. Gonna go just there. Just tucking that under. And just give it a little wiggle. I'd recommend leaving that to dry overnight. Going back to our card, so you can now see how it's going to look. Okay, going back to our envelope. Just going to move that out of the way for a minute. Now there are two ways that you do this. You could do your ribbon now and tie it, and then stick on your item. This is good if you are actually sending the card yourself, because then you can write a message before you do this. Don't forget. Or you can leave it blank and leave the envelope untied, ready for somebody to write in it. So I'm going to fix each of my flaps with brad. To do this, you're going to need to put a hole through, and you want to go through the front flap and the middle flap, but not the back flap. Bear in mind how big your brad is, and then line up your hole accordingly, and you want to get this more or less the same all the way around. Depending on your card, you may need to do the whole punch a few times. There we go. And again. go. Last one. There you go. Now you're going to need 4 matching brads for the next bit. And also length of ribbon. So your ribbon needs to be long enough to go all the way round the card when it's closed, and still have enough to tie. So start off by giving yourself an overhang. Put the ribbon flat against your flap. Fold the flap over and put in your brad. Again, you're going to take that ribbon round, keep it flat, make sure it stays flat on the corners as well. Fold it over, put in your brad and bend out this spine. And now you see when you start to pull it closed, your corners will just have a nice little point, just like that. And finally, again, hold it flat, fold it over, stick in your brad, bend it out. At this point you can put in your card, hopefully you haven't written it. And gently pull your ribbons together. Now the goal here is to not get it to lie flat totally, you still want to have a 3D effect to your envelope. And create 2 loops. You cross them over, got them under and through. I'll do it. Oh dear. Some things are easier done when you don't think about them, aren't they? Bloopers. Merry Christmas. Oh dear. There we go. Come on back. And just give it a bit of wiggle. It just helps you to get that bone just the right place. You want it so that the height's level across your envelope. You can then take your piece of adhesive or you can half adhere the back of the other piece of card. Peel off the backing. Drop it in place. Level it up. And press it down. And there you go. Leave it overnight to dry. And then it's ready to give. And that's the end of our stream. Bye!